people came to us, during the Guinness Book of World Records and said, "Can we take an autograph of you and Joanne and Brydan?" It was really, I think what we say is milestone. After a certain age, you stop your milestone. So I think that was our milestone. Even besides the Guinness Book of World Records, he also got an award for non-stop skating for 5 hours.
Wow.
And it was actually 5 hours, continuous 5 hours.
So Joanne she's a part of Special Olympics, both Joanne and Brydan. And recently, Joanne was a part of Fit 5 exercise program it was there. And she was leading more than 300 athletes, across India, wherein she was like a leader and others were copying and following her, whatever exercises of Fit 5 that she was doing.
She has also won online competitions for fitness organized also by
Special Olympics. She has won an inclusive dance competition wherein she was dancing along with me. So we both were dancing, and there also she won a prize over there. And a lot of accolades. She is recognized by Government of India on Kanya Divas for her achievements in various multi-fields, what she is doing. She has got, both of the kids have got Global Achievement Award, just last month from Government of Rajasthan.
Hi friends, we're going to be talking to the Rodrigues family. We'll be talking to Brydan and Janice, who are proud parents of 2 beautiful kids, Brydan and Joanne. So let's talk to them. Janice and Brydan, welcome. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful that you are giving your time and speaking to all of us. Would you like to introduce yourself to people who are listening?
Yes, thank you very much, Reena ma'am, for having us on your platform. As you rightly said, we are the Rodrigues family, and we are the proud parents of Joanne and Brydan.
Yes, in fact, it's a very great moment, wherein we were getting our kids to your center, and your pieces of advice and the various therapies and professionals has brought us to a stage right now wherein we can talk that whatever you all have shared during our therapies, we are executing those things, and those have really brought out wonders in the children. So it's a great sharing when we tell people how a holistic approach can make a difference in children and the families together.
I just wanted to ask you something, and I maybe asked you, but it was always in my heart. And I wanted to ask you, how was it when you got the diagnosis for one child and then your other child? How did you take it? I see that you both are together, solid pillars for each other. That's where the strength lies. But, it must have been difficult. How was it for you in the earlier years?
To be very frank, like any other family, I think we went through the same process of denial. And I feel now that, it's very important to go through that process, because it's something new that comes to you, and we've never heard of the A of autism. And there we were bombarded with 2 children on the spectrum. So it was not easy. And moreover, I think, the environment was affecting us, like people telling us, very nasty things. But now, I'll just quote a few things to make people understand. People would come and blame me mostly, that what did you do during your pregnancy, that you had not 1, but 2 children on the spectrum. And to be very frank, Reena ma'am, those same people, after we were featured and, various places because of our children took us places, come now to us and say, your children are stars. So it's just the irony, that what we were, we accepted, and we took it by our stride.
Yeah, it's very normal, for people to come and tell you that why did God done this to you, etc. All those things, But then it's normal because people do not know much. till they do not know, they are going to keep on saying things. And it's up to us, to be as positive as possible. Yes, it was a difficult moment, knowing, as Janice said, knowing nothing about an A of autism, and everyone coming up, and we not knowing who do we follow, what do we do, what now, what next, kind of a thing. And yes, we took everything with a pinch of salt, as they say, and we said, okay, fine, God has given this. Now it is up to us to do the best with whatever we can.
So tell me one thing. I mean, I find it really amazing. Every couple wants to support each other. But I remember even those days when you used to come, Janice used to come, but then you were always there. Like what I'm trying to tell you is this thing to support each other has been there. How do you make it happen? Because usually there are differences with just one child. There's a lot of blame game that happens. But how are you as a couple able to maintain that through this thick and thin and these kinds of situations? How are you able to do it so that others can do it too?
The main thing is that, as you said, it is ours. Joanne and Brydan belong to us. When they belong to us, it's nothing about it is yours or mine. Whatever we have to shoulder responsibility, we have to fill in each other's places. Where she falls short, I join in. And that is what we do, because if we try to say this is your job and this is my job, or try to come up with some sort of say gender biasness that you do the kitchen work and I will do only the office work, kind of a thing, it will never going to work. And as we always say, it's not only about our children, even neurotypical children, they sense what is going on in the environment. The more positive vibes you have, and how you do it together as a family, automatically reflects in the children. So we knew that, yes, it is a humongous task, and unless and until we have each other's support, we couldn't do it. Secondly, the thing was, we said that, okay, what a lot of parents have got a thing about what after us, but we try to change a perspective. So let's focus on what is now. Let us bring up the change, rather than thinking about what after us. The pandemic has thought that we can't think about what after us. Now we don't know what is going to happen, basically.
And I liked what you told me before we started recording. Would you like to emphasize that it's not just the mother? It's like, would you speak in your own words? That was very impactful. And I think everyone should listen to what you spoke.
Yes, exactly. We are the Rodrigues family, Janice, me, Joanne, Brydan. We are together as one unit. Without each other, we are incomplete. Because no matter, how much of effort we both put in, if I don't get that support from my child, we wouldn't be able to do or focus on what we are doing right now, and vice versa. So we basically fill in each other's gap.
And as you're very well aware, Reena ma'am, is that, in our Indian or subcontinent society, it's always on the mother. It's the upbringing or the responsibility. Mostly, of course, I'm not saying it is a generic thing, but that is what we normally think, it's that the mother should do this, the mother should, and even in our earlier days, I think if something used to go wrong, well, your mother didn't teach you this. So,
and father is considered as an ATM machine. And the mother will do everything else, which is totally wrong. But at the same time, I would also say, that a lot of times it's a fault of the mother only, because the mother she takes it for granted that a father will not do it and it is not his job. So somewhere over there also there is a problem, we need to change the way we think, even while raising our kids. The way, if a boy is not allowed to enter the kitchen, just thinking, that when he grows up, he shouldn't be entering the kitchen, only a girl should be doing it. But then if we are brought up in that way, automatically, there's going to be so much of unity in thoughts, in the way that we are doing things together.
To the extent that even, just a small sharing here. Joanne, when she calls us, like if she wants to ask for something or whatever, she wants to raise a conversation, she'll say Dada Mama or Mama Dada.
It's never one person,
It's never one person. So it's that total holistic approach that she sees. She has it has gone into her system organically, and that's what she brings it as she expresses it as well.
Wow. How old is Joanne now?
She's 14.
Wow. And how old is Brydan?
Well,
12 and 14. Wow. Can you tell us about the skating thing? How did that get started and what made you how did you it just went on, and how did you achieve, and how did they achieve rather a Guinness World Book of Records? I mean, how did they come in there? That's so proud.
Well, actually, initially we started skating with them. To name it, I mean, any sport activity, we just started to channelize the energies. Because as we all know, our children seek movement. So we just started, as just as a sport, or just that they would channelize their energy, sleep well in the night, and things like that. Gradually, I think this became their passion. And once it became their passion, it was no more a task.
It wasn't something like we are trying to force. Like we could see that they are enjoying it, and we just gave it a direction. And generally, as we all say, if you are molded in in your passion, whatever you want, you will attain success rather than someone forcing you to do something. So we just followed their passion and we gave a direction. That's about it.
And they both enjoyed skating, as in they both enjoyed it together?
Yes, both of them, because as such, most of the things come together in the Rodrigues family as a package. It's like buy one, get one free, So when Joanne was skating, at the same time, Brydan was also skating. Like, for example, like for therapies, both used to be paired together. And as siblings, we saw both of the interests complementing each other in skating as well.
And both do their tasks together. But what I would like to say here are both our children are two different individuals and poles apart. For example, Joanne is a goal seeker. You tell her from here to here you have to go, Joanne, and she does it immediately. She wants to complete her task. But Brydan is not that way. Brydan wants to go on, and he has that endurance. So, one person actually has a goal, and the other person can, he keeps
He likes technique, for example.
He likes technique. So till he gets it right, he will continue. So even besides the Guinness Book of World Records, he also got an award for non-stop skating for 5 hours.
Wow.
And it was actually 5 hours, continuous 5 hours. So that, and Joanne couldn't do it. She just did it for 1 hour or so. So every child is different, and
here's what we are trying to say. Communicate is see, both Joanne and Brydan being in the same family. Okay, they are from the same production department. Me and Janice, they're eating the same food. Everything is the same, But then still, how poles apart they are. So imagine our children in the fraternity. How different can they be? So I cannot compare what Joanne can do that Brydan can do also. So it's like that,
Yeah. So did you actually went and registered for the Guinness Book of World Records, or how did it happen? If any other child wants, people who are listening and they want to train their kids in skating or whatever, what is it? What is it about this Special Olympics? Can you give some idea to people who are listening?
Yes, in fact, for us special kids, there are very few coaches who actually take the trouble of coaching our children, because it may take maybe 10 times the time and the effort rather than a normal child, NT child, what we say. So wherever we coach, most of the coaches said, no, sorry, we cannot take it. Then we had a coach who said, okay, fine, I will guide you, but then you have to take the effort. So we both of us remember shedding our kgs, kilograms, like running behind Joanne and Brydan. Imagine them being on wheels and we are running behind them, so that at least they get some sort of a direction. And mostly we looked out for opportunities so that they skate in a group, like along with in a competition.
Yeah, alongside the normal children.
So there were very few opportunities, with special kids. So we said, okay, fine, let them skate alongside the NT children. Let them just understand, what is skating about, how to do a group event together. So that is how we gave them a lot of opportunities. Our coach gave us a lot of these races which used to be there, etc.
Yeah. And basically, whenever we participated, we never thought of, winning, losing, nothing. We just wanted them to be a part of this, the event. It also brought inclusive,
we could talk to people, what are the differences? Yes.
People understood, what actually a special child is. And actually people came to us, during the Guinness Book of World Records and said, can we take an autograph of you and Joanne and Brydan? It was really, I think what we say is milestone. After a certain age, you stop your milestone. So I think that was our milestone, so it was just that wherever our coach told us, we would reach. And, we would just tell them, okay, Joanne, Brydan, go. Because there's a lot of things that you learn in such competitions. There's rules and, how to also go. I mean, we never said go ahead of someone. We just give them instruction, Joanne, go fast, Brydan, go fast. That's what they understand.
Mostly what happens, with our kids, most of the kids on the spectrum, I would say, they don't look at competition. What we are also looking at is excel oneself. So if I'm putting a task for myself, let me go beyond myself and not ahead of, because they never understand that I need to overtake this person and all. So we were looking at mostly they excel themselves. Probably what they are doing in maybe 20 minutes, now they should do it in 10 minutes. So that is how the goal was. Secondly, most of the parents look at winning and losing, but then what we were finding it very different is like how you coached us, that how vestibular input is required, a vestibular movement is required. So this vestibular movements, by moving the hands and legs and that synchrony, help them to regulate themselves. Not only that, it was understanding and regulating themselves in a social environment. Thirdly, there used to be a lot of sounds and lights when we have these competitions. So they understood how to regulate despite the sound.
During the Guinness Book of World Records, during the event itself, we've seen a different perspective of our children. The event goes on in such a way that the ring cannot be empty. There has to be a skater on the ring. So it's a continuous 48 hours event. So what happened is it started raining and all the children exited, and both Joanne and Brydan were on the ring, and they were skating, So our sir looked at us and he said, let them do whatever they want. So Joanne was enjoying, Brydan was enjoying. And then we started analyzing after that, Joanne loves the rain and she loves any cool weather around her. So she was really enjoying, and there was nothing like she was controlling herself. There was no slipping happening, nothing. And Brydan doesn't like rules. So he saw an empty ground and he was enjoying. So, these sensory needs also helped us, I would say. Many a times it's a drawback, but at that time we realized it actually gave them a boom. And on the other hand, I think on the last day or the last few hours of the event, there was firecrackers, how firecrackers happen. There's so much sound and, and there were so many children on the ring. And we both were perplexed, and I was upset, what will happen to Joanne? Because she has her sound issues. She's still sensitive. So, and we suddenly spotted her and we seen her that she was completely enjoying. She was skating. So the vestibular was helping her to regulate the sound around her, and the amount of people around her, she was completely a different person. So it's we keep talking about sensory issues, but I think if things are, are move in a correct way, I mean, children are just allowed to do something that they love to do. I think it all helps, and, it incorporates well.
And plus, everything is not to be seen from the lens of autism, as you always say.